Love is the name for our pursuit of wholeness, for our desire to be complete. Man is a being in search of meaning. At the touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. How could they see anything but the shadows if they were never allowed to move their heads? Books are immortal sons defying their sires. Either we shall find what it is we are seeking, or at least we shall free ourselves from the persuasion that we know what we do not know. The soul takes flight to the world that is invisible, but there arriving she is sure of bliss and forever dwells in paradise. Knowledge which is acquired under compulsion has no hold on the mind. Therefore do not use compulsion, but let early education be a sort of amusement. You will then be better able to discover the child's natural bent. No wealth can ever make a bad man at peace with himself. The society we have described can never grow into a reality or see the light of day, and there will be no end to the troubles of states, or indeed, my dear Glaucon, of humanity itself, till philosophers become rulers in this world, or till those we now call kings and rulers really and truly become philosophers, and political power and philosophy thus come into the same hands. No human thing is of serious importance. False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the soul with evil. The difficulty, my friends, is not in avoiding death, but in avoiding unrighteousness, for that runs faster than death. The price of apathy towards public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. He whom love's touches not walks in darkness. All I really know is the extent of my own ignorance. A dog has the soul of a philosopher. What if the man could see beauty itself, pure, unalloyed, stripped of mortality, and all its pollution, stains, and vanities, unchanging, divine, the man becoming in that communion, the friend of God, himself immortal, would that be a life to disregard? He was a wise man who invented God. That's what education should be, I said, the art of orientation. Educators should devise the simplest and most effective methods of turning minds around. It shouldn't be the art of implanting sight in the organ, but should proceed on the understanding that the organ already has the capacity, but is improperly aligned and isn't facing the right way. In practice, people who study philosophy too long become very odd birds, not to say thoroughly vicious, while even those who are the best of them are reduced by philosophy to complete uselessness as members of society. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. All is flux, nothing stays still. Excess of liberty, whether it lies in state or individuals, seems only to pass into excess of slavery. Poetry is nearer to vital truth than history. The man who finds that in the course of his life he has done a lot of wrong often wakes up at night in terror, like a child with a nightmare, and his life is full of foreboding, but the man who is conscious of no wrongdoing is filled with cheerfulness and with the comfort of old age. Knowledge is the food of the soul. Musical training is a more potent instrument than any other, because rhythm and harmony find their way into the inward places of the soul. Man is a tame or civilized animal. Nevertheless, he requires proper instruction and a fortunate nature, and then of all animals he becomes the most divine and most civilized. But if he be insufficiently or ill-educated, he is the most savage of earthly creatures. Everything that deceives may be said to enchant. Of all the animals, the boy is the most unmanageable. Moneymakers are tiresome company, as they have no standard but cash value. The direction in which education starts a man will determine his future life. Come then, and let us pass a leisure hour in storytelling, and our story shall be the education of our heroes. Ideas are the source of all things. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs. When he first appears, he is a protector. Those who don't know must learn from those who do. Time is the moving image of reality. Philosophy is the highest music. In order for man to succeed in life, God provided him with two means: education and physical activity. Not separately, one for the soul and the other for the body, but for the two together. With these means, man can attain perfection. According to Diotima, love is not a god at all, but is rather a spirit that mediates between people and the objects of their desire. Love is neither wise nor beautiful, but is rather the desire for wisdom and beauty. Wise men talk because they have something to say, fools, because they have to say something. The man who makes everything that leads to happiness depends upon himself, and not upon other men, has adopted the very best plan for living happily. This is the man of moderation, the man of manly character and of wisdom. Lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. The most effective kind of education is that a child should play amongst lovely things. Beauty of style and harmony and grace and good rhythm depend on simplicity. The unexamined life is not worth living.